Hey you guys, so today is a really special edition of Pop Culture Commentary because news just broke that Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner are officially back together, as opposed to like a few days ago when they were like, when she was saying in an interview like, oh, we're back together but there's no label. First of all, when she was quoted in the interview saying that, oh, we're back together but there's no label, like that was a big no, because I mean, obviously, she's still in her early 20s, so she has plenty of time to like be in time waster relationships. But I mean, that's a really big red flag that this guy is not wanting to be responsible for her feelings. Like, he's not wanting to be responsible. So if he were like to be seen out with another girl and she gets really hurt about it and she goes to him about it, he will completely like go hands off and be like, I'm not responsible for that at all. Like, that's the way these guys are. Kylie and Travis, to catch you guys up, they broke up back in October of 2019 after about 2 years of being together. They have little baby Stormy together. She's like one of the cutest babies I've ever seen besides Kim's, oddly enough. Kylie, she's been posting a lot of thirst traps. Like, it's very like, it's boobs, it's butt, it's a lot of parts that she had to buy. A lot of unreal body parts she had to buy. He like has been like commenting on these thirst traps as well. Like, she posted one on like her last one for 2019 is like, oh, this is the last thirst trap of the year, and he like posts on a story like, ha 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 ha, like right after she posted it. So a lot of people are pretty sure that is connected. Thirst traps, they definitely get a guy's attention. Like, they'll definitely get them feeling some kind of way. And her and Travis, they already have a child together, and I think like whenever you're sexually intimate with your partner, guys will always think that they own you, and they'll be more likely to disrespect you the more casual it was. What I think Kylie did, like, if she's like a strong, smart girl that listens to her girlfriends, well, I think she did. I mean, she strategically has been doing these thirst traps, so obviously that made him jealous and feel some type of way. And like, when it comes to getting back together, I do notice that it's up to the guy. Like, the guy really has to take action. Girls, we can't push them. You can't be pushy with a guy. Otherwise, if you're pushy with a guy, that will really like make him run away, like run for the hills. Another like moral question that I'll bring up but we'll revisit later is like, are guys that you're in an on-off relationship, are they really worth it? Do any of you guys remember back in like, I think it would have been like October or something, it was literally days before they broke up, and they were photographed getting onto a private jet, and she was wearing like a wedding dress. Does anyone remember that? I think that was like a really big, I think, she was probably just, casually talking to him like, oh, we have Stormy, and, we're great together, and I think we should do it. I think we should get married. And I think that scared him off, like, because, she was like in a wedding dress, and I think he was in a tux too. I think they were, in his mind, they were just playing pretend, but she really wants that to happen, which, I can't blame her. She has a family with this guy. Also, just before they broke up, he was about to go on tour. He's still finishing up like some shows that he's doing. He has 6 dates over the next month and a half, the last of which it's Rolling Loud in Miami. So I think like, since he's off tour now, he's probably wanting to go back into that mode of being with Kylie again. But I feel like if he does go on tour again, they're gonna break up again. I think he'll go on tour and he'll cheat. And like, it's been rumored, like there's been a lot of rumors that he's cheated on her all the time and stuff. But the reality is, I don't think he wants to be in a relationship when he's on tour, because he could be on, I'm sure he's doing all kinds of drugs. He's a big rap star. He has plenty of contacts who can just give him drugs, and he may like cheat and really embarrass and hurt her, and then she really won't ever get back in a relationship with him again. So the reason why I'm bringing up Kylie and Travis Scott getting back together is like, should you get back with an ex? And my best advice to you guys is, search your feelings. Like, I'm quoting Star Wars, but it's true. Search your feelings. How do you feel, like, about this person? Does this person make you feel anxious? Were you still in contact after you broke up, or were you in no contact? What was the context of your breakup? Like, there's definitely been some guys that have been in my life that the breaking up was like really painful and embarrassing, and I can't go back. Like, guys, they're really, some guys, they're really loyal to themselves. Really look at the context of why you and a potential ex, or, like potentially getting back with an ex, what is the content? Why did you guys have to break up? Were you fighting? Did that person move out of state? Like, what were you getting in that relationship with that person? Were you able to thrive with that person? Did you feel comfortable? Did they make you, like, did you ever feel anxious? Do you feel at peace with that person? Really search your feelings. If you feel like really anxious, sometimes it's better to just, like, block them and move on with your life. Like, life is long, and you can always find another partner. And, like, to kindly painfully, like, just glance into an old wound. There was this guy, it was like 2.5 years ago. I was like 26 at the time, and he was like 4 years younger, so like, what, 22? Yeah, he like dumped me for a 16-year-old. He dumped me for a 16-year-old. He is that creepy dude that like dates the high school girls. That was him. And he was, as soon as they broke, as soon as I was out of his life, he was posting pictures with this new girl, and it was like, really, like, what the are you doing? Oh, oops. I was really baffled by his behavior, and funny enough, in the last like couple of weeks, he like tried to add me as a friend on Facebook, and I was pretty sure I blocked him. I think he made a second Facebook account to add me. And I know he had a second Facebook because one time his like face popped up in my people you may know, but I knew, like, when I saw his name and face pop up on my phone, I'm not gonna lie, I accepted it. I looked at his Facebook, like, what's going on with this kid, and it was a bunch of these statuses of like, arguments, or I want my peace, and it was all like memes of that stuff, and like, oh, a man can buy a woman everything she wants, but they still can't be satisfied, and sometimes guys, they'll like dump you like really dramatically, and then they'll realize that the grass really isn't greener on the other side, and he had it pretty good with me. Let's revisit that phrase earlier when I said, are guys you're in an on and off relationship, like, are they really worth it? Like, could it possibly turn out well long term? Well, the simple answer to that is yes and no. There are cases of people, who have been in, on and off relationships, and they get back together and they're great, and they really do stay. They work it out somehow. But that's generally people who were, going to school in different states from each other, that kind of thing. The kind of relationships, the on and off relationships, where they're actually like living in the same area and they're just fighting a lot, those, they will not work out, unfortunately. And also, a key factor of relationships is that, when there's stable emotions in your relationship, you'll have more stability. Like, all those relationships where it's like very up and down, up and down, up and down, it can end. Like, your relationship can end really anytime. It just depends on how committed that person is, and how committed that person is to you. Another thing that I want to add about the on and off relationships is, are guys that you have to like emotionally play with worth keeping? The simple answer to that question is no. They are not worth keeping. If if they have some kind of need to fight it out with you, like to fight with you, those are not the ones worth keeping. The guy that used to be in my life, he was kind of abrasive, and he would just say some things at times that I really thought he wanted to try to fight with me, and I didn't play into that. I'm not a fighter. All in all, I do wish Kylie luck with her getting back with Travis Scott. I know she has that baby number 2 fever. A few months before her and Travis had broken up, she was like doing an interview, and she was saying how she wanted to have like another kid, and he wasn't really feeling it. And I think it's because he knew, I'm gonna go on tour. You really want like a stable, long-term, loving relationship. Don't date a rapper. They kind of, that there's a lot of moving pieces in their life, like between recording and going on tours and drug use, and it's just like, I just feel like they're black holes. Like, you really can only do so much for another person. Like, they have to also be responsible for themselves. And a thing I want to speak and claim right now is that if Travis goes on tour again, he's going to dump her again. Watch.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll chat again soon. Be sure to like the video, let me know your thoughts below, and subscribe. We'll talk again soon. Bye!